You know what would make this game better? It was just like, look at the UI. Like, this is like the Fortnite UI. You know you're going to put the disc in for this game. And before you even get to see the title screen, it's going to be like, oh, buy the Harley Quinn Battle Pass, $18. Again, you're going to say, no, thank you. It's going to say, oh, buy the Bugs Bunny Battle Pass, $17. You're like, why does it cost $1 less than the Harley Quinn one? No, thank you. And they, like, it's probably going to be very in your face about that kind of stuff. So after some leaks and rumors, Warner Bros. Has officially announced their new Smash Bros. Style fighting game called MultiVersus, which is a very, very generic title for what the game is. I think they could have came up with something that was a little more eye-catching, but sure. So I haven't looked at this trailer yet, but of course I've seen various screenshots. I've seen some of the leaked information too, but I wanted to ignore it. Really though, the way that the leaks were looking, I was assuming this was a game that wasn't going to come out for a while, like maybe the end of next year, but it seems like it's going to have a beta by early next year or something, which is pretty crazy. I think it's very important to note because a lot of people are going to be assuming this. It is a complete coincidence that the two studios have come up with their own Smash Bros. Inspired platform fighters. Like, yeah, Nickelodeon All Star Brawl just came out a month ago, but video games take a long time to make. You know, both of these games were probably in development for 2 years or so. They probably started working on them after seeing the hype from Smash Brothers. Like, they probably were obviously inspired by the same source with all the DLC and stuff that Smash Bros. Had going on for a long while. So with marketing, this game might be directly competing with Nick All Star Brawl. But in terms of the concept, again, unless they somehow knew that Nickelodeon was making a game for the past 2 or so years, it's a complete coincidence that both studios have a game. But you know what? From a fan perspective, I'm sure it's just kind of awesome that both studios have games. It's just going to be a matter now of like comparing which ones are better. And I mean, from what I'm seeing of this one, it seems pretty darn impressive. So, well, let's take a look. Plus Finn's in this one. So there you go.
Hi, I'm Tony, the game director, and
hello, Tony, the game
at
director.
Player First Games. We're here today to give you a first look at our new game, MultiVersus.
Oh, MultiVersus.
About 2 years ago,
Wait, I will like this entire time I've just been reading it as Multiverse. This okay, the title that's a more clever of a title, but man, I can't read. But still though, for a crossover game like this, they need another title, you know? MultiVersus works if it's going to cross over with like third-party stuff as well, but this is probably only going to be Warner Brothers, so I think they could have said like, you know, Warner Brothers Super Wallop or something, a bunch of double Warner Brothers Wicked Wallop. There you go. There's your title.
Need a shield?
Saving someone with a lasso.
That was not Steven's voice. Batman punching Jake the dog is not something I ever would have thought I would see.
I am Batman.
In fact,
that's what Batman. That's what Kevin Conroy sounds like.
Get ready to eat my sword!
we're excited to show you our
He's so
takes
old.
on characters from Tom and Jerry.
Not the Shaggy,
Shaggy.
please. Anything but this. Is the next minute of the video just going to be about Shaggy? But that's just one thing I wanted to point out because that's something that a lot of people were saying is that like they're coming for Nickelodeon's throat because All Star Brawl had no voice acting and that was kind of a thing that bothered people. You know, let's take a step back and like be honest for a second. Unless there's going to be like some sort of narrated like story mode or something, the voice acting doesn't matter. Because what they're gonna have like a quip when you select them. There's gonna be like a quip when you win a battle or lose a battle. But then like, isn't it just annoying when you gotta listen to Finn say the same like ow, ooh, ow, like 8,000 times while you're playing the game? Like maybe that kind of makes the game feel more polished than having it be silent. But it's also annoying, isn't it? I don't feel like that's actually something that matters as much as people think it does, especially considering, you know, how much Tara Strong is so popular. How much money does it cost to have her to do anything? Because they got her in this, like how much money they pour on this game. Saying that did get me thinking that they haven't mentioned this yet in the video, I don't think, but this is going to be a free-to-play game. So it's possible that they wanted voice acting because then they can sell you like voice DLC, you know, like you could get like by default Finn can say like, oh, doo-doo when you lose a battle, but if you pay like $7, he'll say like, oh, schmauzer, I'll do better next time, and people will eat it up because they think people want useless stuff like that when really people would want costumes and things like that if they are going to charge, which they probably will. I think they get to that. I've seen stuff like that online. So from my perspective, having voice acting doesn't matter that much, but it probably has voice acting because they're going to sell you voice lines. Or have voice lines be a cosmetic that you get from loot boxes and you never want them, but you're always going to get them because they're like common because they know they don't matter. I'm familiar with multiplayer games.
We'll have a range of customizations.
It's very
available
silly
for
that
all
Shaggy's
and that's
in
just the tip
this.
of the iceberg.
So he's like Captain Falcon.
MultiVersus
Also, Shaggy's
supports
voiced by the
crossplay
actor
and
from the live action
cross-platform,
Scooby Doo
so you
one.
can-
Dedicated servers, Pog.
Our vision is including new characters, modes, skins,
Is he
and events throughout the
perks,
year for you and your
skins?
friends. Versus
Those are
the
good skins,
best game
though.
it can be. So whether you want a free
That's all, folks, is really good.
Victory!
Haven't even broken a sweat.
Now here's another very curious thing about this that I've seen people point out. This is not going to be on Switch. So like the joke I just did with my copy of Smash Bros, that's not even relevant. Because somehow they aren't putting this on Switch. It's just weird. It's not even like the graphics seemed like that they were that intense, you know? Why would they not by default want this on Switch? It's perfect for it. Is it because like microtransactions on Switch are weird or something? It's very, very, very weird that they wouldn't put this on Switch. Switch is what the kids have. But also something that's curious about this game too, that is a very stark difference from other games like this. From the top of my head, there's Brawlhalla, there's Nickelodeon All Star Brawl, and there's Smash. Like currently, you know, there's been PlayStation All Stars and stuff like that, but currently, like those games are alive. And Warner Brothers has been working with Brawlhalla because Ben 10, Steven Universe, and Adventure Time, maybe other things, but at least those three are playable characters in Brawlhalla. But something curious about this game is that there's a perk system, which like I don't know, in a competitive platform fighter, I don't think this is something that we want, but this is something that they're gonna implement so that, you know, I mean, look, there's a shot button right here on this like iPad UI the game has. There's a shot button right here. You know that they're gonna charge you $25 for a bundle of 75 random perks or something. You know, that's what all this is. It's unfortunate, but we need to look at it from that free-to-play approach where it's like, how fun is this game gonna be if you don't have the time to go up the battle pass or to, you know, to buy loot boxes to get the perks or whatever. You know, this trailer here doesn't explain how any of those sort of mechanics work, but it's a free-to-play game, so like the number one thing I'm thinking about is how they're gonna shove this down your throat. I mean, look, there's this like currency over here. There's two different types of currency. Like you probably get this one for playing the game, and then you pay for this one or something like that. And that's fun on occasion, you know, playing a free-to-play game and like trying your darndest to not ever spend $1 on it and just grind it and like get some money and like just have some casual fun because the game itself is fun. That's something very enjoyable. Like I play a lot of mobile games where I sort of have that focus where I have not bought any microtransactions in any mobile games I play because most of them are quite forgiving and it's just kind of fun to see what you can do without having to pay. But with a game like this, it's really hard because you're going to go online and fight an ultra rare skin bikini Harley Quinn person who has all these perks and you're going to get demolished because you don't have the perks because you didn't pay or you didn't play long enough or something like that, you know? So I'm concerned about that. Or more so, I'm concerned about people's reactions to that because this kind of seems like, I mean, he says you can play solo, but I think this is an online only thing, which, I mean, it's good that, you know, it sounds like they have dedicated servers and all the things that they would need. But for me personally, like I don't playing a game like this online is a nightmare because I'm always worse than the people I fight. But now, like I mentioned, like if there's going to be some sort of system in place where if you pay money, you're just better by default because you have perks, like nobody's going to enjoy that. That's unfortunately kind of why I turned away from Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. You know, I mean, there's no way any game could have like the depth that Smash Bros has with its spirits and trophies and single player challenges and things like that. So I can understand that, but Nickelodeon admittedly feels very like bare. There's a classic mode where you can unlock icons and stuff, and I did intend to play that like as every character just because the gameplay was genuinely really fun. But other than that, you play online or you fight your friends. And I mean, yeah, that's what everybody does. But for me personally, it's like doing that is so hard because everybody's so good. But that stuff aside, look at how like good this game looks. I don't even have a fault with you know, like we have to compare them because you can't not. But I don't even have a fault with how Nickelodeon All Star Brawl looks, honestly. Nickelodeon All Star Brawl very likely had like less people working on it or less money to get it done than this game does. So like, yeah, you know, you can say like this probably does look better. The animation seems kind of weird. It looked almost like they went for like a sort of choppy look to the animation or something. It just looked a little weird, but it looks very flat too, which is, I think that's kind of cool. And there's outlines for the teams and stuff. So it has a different sort of polish than Nickelodeon does. but I think they both look totally fine. Like, especially playing, I have Nickelodeon on my PC, and like, it looks pretty darn fantastic. So I mean, as long as this game, you know, looks good and plays well, that's really, you know, that's what people want. It does kind of seem like, unfortunately, Nickelodeon was huge when it, like, the first 3 days that All Star Brawl came out, it was in the top played Steam games. But then after those 3 days, like, I haven't played it in a while, in forever. I don't know if anybody even cares anymore. I mean, I was anticipating it to be like a big YouTube thing for me. Like, I live streamed it day one and was all excited about it. Like, I like lost sleep the night before because I thought the game was gonna be so fun. I was so ready to play it and stream it and stuff. And then like nobody like tuned in. So any stream that I did of it, nobody really tuned in. So I guess the hype just wasn't there for some reason, or like the hype was immediately gone once the game launched or something. So I wonder how much hype that this game can end up gathering. But there we go, ready to transition to the next topic, our final topic for the day. The hype for a game like this comes from the roster. And there's a pretty good roster of this one so far. And it's not even everyone. I do know, spoiler alert, I think Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty was leaked as a character, and there was probably other ones leaked too. Like, I think the whole roster at launch has been leaked, but I only know that that I think Rick is in it, which is a fantastic choice. I mean, it's weird because he'll probably be the only Adult Swim character in the game, but it's a great choice. It's really nice to have Finn and Jake represented. I don't know, maybe they're categorized by, oh yeah, they're categorized by like their skill. I was gonna say, like, why is Jake far away from Finn? Like, Jake's a punching character, Finn's a sword character. Well, Batman's also a sword character, but he's not next to them. I don't know. Not Bruce Wayne. That's very funny. But also here, I don't know this character's name, but this is an original character made just for this game, which is strange, but kind of cute, I guess. But ultimately, like, this guy's taking Master Shake's spot on the roster. No, not really. I mean, that's kind of a cute idea to let them put an original character in it. But, you know, I don't know how much people are really gonna care for that. It's not like, you know, like I was just saying, like I was joking, like it's not taking a spot from the roster, but it's I don't know, it's weird to include. But there's certainly going to be more fighters coming. I mean, I don't know, who could we get? I was just, before I started recording, I was thinking probably Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter will end up represented. Heck, friggin' Pennywise might end up in it. I don't know if people still care about it, but like that's a Warner Brothers thing. I definitely anticipate them pulling more from that, like kind of what Lego Movie did too. Like Lego Movie has so many different crossover stuff going on from other Warner Bros. Properties. They probably want to pull from as many properties as possible, so they aren't going to focus too much on Cartoon Network. Like, I mean, isn't it kind of surprising that Steven Universe is here, like, at all? But I feel like they're going to pull from more movie properties over time rather than Cartoon Network stuff. Like, maybe they'll come back to Cartoon Network stuff a little later down the road when character reveals start going, and then, you know, they'll probably do like Ben 10 or Powerpuff Girls, more kind of generic stuff. Like, I doubt we would end up seeing very recent stuff like Craig of the Creek or Victor and Valentino or whatever. But I mean, come on, they gotta get Uncle Grandpa in here. Like, come on. But this is something I mentioned in my Pibby videos. Warner Brothers is so obsessed with themselves. Like, here's another crossover they're doing. Like, just again, like with their own properties, to be like, yeah, isn't it crazy that like Batman and Looney Tunes are standing next to each other? It's great. Oh, Fred Flintstone might be in this game. That would be a good character. Like, they just had Pibby, even though it's like a smaller scale thing. Ready Player One, the Lego movies, Space Jam that just came out. Like, they're loving this idea of putting all their characters together. And I mean, if you're gonna do that, may as well also like make hopefully a very fun video game like this that can have exciting reveals and stuff. It's just weird to me that they're so obsessed with doing this crossover stuff. This is definitely a fantastic context to do it, but like, why do they keep doing it? It's killer, you know. I mean, with how big Pibby got, like, people kind of love this stuff, but why do they keep doing it? The biggest point of this is definitely the fact that they're pulling from like, there's a Game of Thrones character, I did barely mention that, everybody's favorite, and DC characters, like they're gonna pull from everywhere. So like, I think, you know, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter are likely. There's gonna be some quite interesting choices coming to this game. So I'm certainly excited for it. It definitely looks very fresh and polished and interesting. It's gonna have a lot of characters. The biggest downside to me is that it's gonna be free to play. They're just like, look at the UI. Like, this is like the Fortnite UI. You know you're gonna put the disc in for this game, and before you even get to see the title screen, it's gonna be like, oh, buy the Harley Quinn Battle Pass, $18. Again, you're gonna say, No thank you. It goes, oh, buy the Bugs Bunny Battle Pass, $17. You're like, why does it cost $1 less? That's Harley Quinn. No thank you. And they, like, it's probably gonna be very in your face about that kind of stuff, and that's annoying to some people. But it's just kind of something that we all pass on at this point because so many games do it. We just have to worry about what they're going to lock behind these free-to-play sorts of paywalls. And maybe they've already said. I haven't, like, I'll have to look up other information about this. But, you know, I just worry about that, especially because we see, like, a perk system. Like, I worry that you could be really good at the game because you spent some money on it. And that's not something anybody ever wants in games. Even though this is a free one. You know, even if it's free, they should still lock that stuff to just being, you know, you pay for some cool cosmetics. Like Batman and Finn the Human bathing suit DLC, stuff like that. I'll definitely end up signing for the playtest or the betas or whatever. You probably won't be able to stream that stuff unless they're like really nice. So, you know, I could like maybe talk about my thoughts about it if I get selected for that sort of stuff later on next year. And just if any other character announcements come out or anything, I'll be here to bring it up. So stay tuned as we cover the magical world of like all 7 Warner Brothers crossover media things that they're doing for some reason. Let me know if you're excited about this game, and for sure let me know what characters you want to see. I mean, I got Finn. I mean, we even got Steven and Rick and Morty possibly coming. So like I'm pretty darn set. Like those are some of my favorite stuff. I can't think of any other realistic Warner Brothers choice that I would want that would come in. You know, like I would really just want more Cartoon Network stuff, but Cartoon Network doesn't seem as obsessed with doing retro stuff. But you know, like I'd want to see Billy and Mandy or Ed and Eddie or Flapjack or like any of the guys that are in Punch Time Explosion, get them in here. But they're probably going to focus more on modern and like more diverse properties here, not pulling all just from cartoons. So yeah, let me know what you want to see from this game, and thanks for watching. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to know when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, and super special thanks to my Patreon supporters. Support me on Patreon and you'll be able to submit video topics, see exclusive behind the scenes content, and help me keep this channel going. Also follow me on Twitter and TikTok for special updates.